Hi guys, today I'm back with another foundation review. This one was highly requested for the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. So it's L'Oreal's latest foundation launch. I was really curious to test this out for myself. As always, I will have timestamps down below that will show you before and after, flash photo test, how it looks at the end of the day, and I will also have a blog post linked down below that have this foundation swatched next to some more popular ones in case you're trying to figure out your shade. I'm also going to be testing out the concealer, which I have worn a few times, along with the Unlimited mascara. I actually have not tried this before, and I have reviewed or kind of swatched, I guess, their new Rouge Signature liquid lipsticks, so I will link to that down below too. I just don't feel like wearing a liquid lipstick today, so I'll have those swatches down below. And lastly, in terms of admin, this video is a collaboration with my good friend Cheryl. She's going to be reviewing the foundation as well. She has a more normal to dry skin type, and I'm at the moment a little bit more combo oily, so you can get some different perspective. She is fabulous and gorgeous and Canadian, and we've actually collaborated before on other foundation reviews, so I will of course link to her down below and go check her out regardless. But let's go ahead and get started. If you have yet to see this foundation at your drugstore, it should be popping up anytime now. With drugstore launches, they always tend to be staggered depending on where you live and where you shop, but always keep an eye out on like the end aisles and little stands. But the nice thing about this, firstly, is you're getting a full fluid ounce in here. The price is going to vary based on where you buy it again, but you're getting a full fluid ounce in here and a pump, which I know the majority of us enjoy. 30 different shades in here, which I think is really great as well. I haven't worn the L'Oreal Pro Matte in a very long time, but what I can say is I never had a good shade match in that, but I do have a good shade match in this one. So I will link to that video down below. It is old. What I will say though is, you may have noticed, I did just get back from vacation like 3 days ago, and I am very dark, and I don't know that this is gonna match me anymore, but I'm still gonna use it. And I did wear this in my February favorite. So if you are generally my shade in a foundation, 485, or sorry, no, that's 490. 485 Golden Sun is going to be the best match for you. I'm pretty sure that is what I have been wearing in kind of testing this out. So right now it's probably going to look a little bit light, but I still want to wear it because I know a lot of people use me as a shade match. But just keep in mind, I got a lot of sun in Mexico. I will link to my Mexico vlog down below, but that is what I'm going to wear today just to keep it consistent. So I've gone ahead and primed half of my face with the Matte Lock Primer from L'Oreal, which I haven't used a ton, so I can't totally tell you on that, but this foundation claims to be medium to full coverage, buildable, and based on a lot of your feedback, a lot of you seem to really like it. I had a lot of you asking me if I was going to be testing out because you really liked it, so that is very promising. And I've just been loving all the drugstore foundations the past like year and a half, 2 years. And I've always loved drugstore foundations. I've always just been a huge fan of drugstore makeup in general. But I've always had issues with shade matches, and I feel like things have gotten much better. In terms of undertone, we're moving away from so much pink and just moving more into more variety, which is very exciting to see, and things are less heavy too. So that is pretty good. There is a slight scent to this, I think, which I didn't really notice before. Nothing super strong. And I'm using a sponge, but you can always use a brush that will help build more coverage. It's just a personal preference thing. I've been into sponges. And I also prefer a more medium coverage, so I'm not going to build it up to super full. And I also find if you have oily skin and you're putting too much foundation on in the hopes of building coverage, for me anyways, that always just makes things slip and slide around if you have too many layers on your face. So if it's not super buildable and super pigmented and you're trying to get it to full coverage, that for me can go wrong. So I recommend going for something super full if you want something super full, so you don't need to put a bunch of foundation on your face, if that makes sense. So you can see here, I think the shade match looks good. I mean, it kind of dulled my tan a little bit, but it definitely is a good match for me when I'm not like fresh out of the sun, and it is the dead of winter too here, so I'm sure my tan will fade, but I think it looks really good, really natural as well. And this is the prime side, but I'm going to go ahead and apply over here too. And it's supposed to help with sweat control, oil control, be more or less transfer proof, and have a very thin formula that stays looking fresh. And I will say the formula is super thin. I pumped out 2 pumps onto my face, and I think that will be enough. I might do another smidge half pump. but I think you can get really beautiful coverage, and I think it is buildable. I wouldn't say it goes to like 100% full, at the very least with a sponge, which that's kind of expected, but you can get a really nice, beautiful medium coverage. And as I've said before, it also depends on your skin. You know, if you have incredible skin, things are going to look more full coverage on you, but I think you can build this up if you do use a denser brush. So I think you can see it gives really, really beautiful coverage, feels super lightweight, and you can still see my freckles through, which I really, really appreciate, but still evens out my skin tone. I think I built it up to about a medium coverage, but you will see there is a little bit of a sheen to my skin. I'm also having like kind of a sweaty face day. I don't know what it is. I'm just like really, really warm and I have a sweaty face. I know it's gross, but maybe some of you out there do too and can sympathize with me. But I think it looks really, really good. I'm gonna go ahead and put on the concealer now using the shade Latte. And this claims to be matte, full coverage. It also comes in 25 shades, which I think is incredible for a drugstore concealer. They've started to step up their game in general at the drugstore with shade ranges, but concealers always lack, and I think they kind of still have that same undertone problem, which seems to start being turned around, which is great. And I know I've said this before, but I always like to let my concealer set for just a minute or so, because I find that helps with coverage. If I just go in and start blending things out, especially with a brush or a sponge, I find any concealer will disappear on me. But I like to pat it out with my fingers, any concealer, but this one too. But I gotta say I really like this. And I liked their last concealer launch too, the one in the silver tube. I thought that was a good one as well. But I feel like this does what it says for the most part. Oh, and L'Oreal also launched like a new brow product, the Unbelievable Brow or something like that. It's a peel off, but I just could not be bothered to do that today. Only brow gel is going in my brow. So let me know if you'd like to know more about that. But yeah, I really like this concealer. I don't think it's like as full as maybe the Too Faced and the Sharp Tape, Shape Tape, but very, very close. Beautiful, beautiful coverage. And I also didn't put on that much concealer either because, like I said, I do like a lighter application, especially when I have freckles. I don't like to cover them up because my freckles are right where concealer goes, essentially. I really, really like this one. I love that it has the big fat doe foot applicator in there. You're getting a good amount of product too, 0.33 fluid ounces. And like I said, I'm really, really impressed with the shade range too, and the finish. I find it to be long lasting. I don't find any foundation to be like 100% transfer proof or any concealer to be 100% crease proof, because if you have creases on your face, like, we can't totally deny gravity, but some will crease more than others, and I don't have any major issues with this one creasing. And same with the transfer proof thing. Like, if you're putting foundation, bronzer, or blush, all of that can transfer. Your foundation could still stay on your face. So for me, it's just like what feels like it's not going to slip and slide all over my face, and this does feel super secure. If you have a more dry skin type, you may not want to set this. I definitely want to set this because I can see I'm already a little bit shiny, and I don't mind some shine, but I do know that my face produces oil as the day goes on, so I definitely need to powder. So I'm gonna go ahead and powder my face, do my face makeup, and then I'll jump back to show you the mascara. So I just did the rest of my face makeup. I actually used this new Benefit palette, the Cheek Leader, which is so exciting because they have new shades of the Hoola in here. So if you'd like to see that, it is on my Instagram. I will link to that down below. But now it is time to try out this mascara. I've seen great things about it, and I love L'Oreal mascara. I think I like it already. I can pretty much tell immediately when something hits my lashes if I'm gonna like it. This is gonna be good. It's impossible to talk and put on mascara. Give me a second. That's only for the true beauty gurus. I think you can see that this is definitely going to be a good one. Tons of length, tons of curl, tons of volume, and I really like the short little brush on it, actually. I didn't know if it was going to feel like kind of awkward. Is this the one that curves or something? Am I getting this confused with something else? Either way, this is really delightful. And as you know, I'm a huge fan of the L'Oreal Lash Primer, so I'd say if you paired it with that, it would be absolutely killer, but this looks amazing on its own. Wow. So far so great. I think everything looks amazing. I'm so happy with how my face looks. I feel like I might get a little bit shiny today. Like I mentioned, I am just kind of having a sweaty face day. It's not oils, it's sweat. It's weird. Like, If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But I wanted to mention I am using the Infallible Pro Matte Powder, which I haven't used in a while, and then I'm using the Color Riche lipsticks, a combination of the two that I've been loving to combine lately. The Glossy Fawn with Laminated Fuchsia, I feel like it just gives the perfect kind of like pink lip, because this one's kind of nude, this one's more pink. They're both great on their own, and I have swatched these two. So far so good. As for flash photo, I did want to mention too that I believe in the United States it has SPF. In Canada, I don't think it does. We have very different laws when it comes to that kind of thing, so I don't believe that there's an SPF in the Canadian formulation, or at least they can't claim it. So for flash photos, I thought it looked good. There was definitely some shininess on my face, which is to be expected because that's going to highlight any of the existing shine that was there, and it does look a little bit light, but keep in mind this isn't the perfect color match for me right now. This is kind of the match for me on an average day, but overall I thought it looked really good, and here in my studio lighting I thought it looked really good and natural as well. So I'm gonna go ahead about my day, and I will check back with you in some natural lighting about midway through. Hello, coming to you with my midday check-in in some natural light. I think that things look really good. You can probably see it potentially a little bit more clearly now, or at least get a different perspective in some natural lighting, because things tend to look better in a ring light. As I mentioned, I did just get back from vacation, so Rue, if you're not familiar with my cat, is very, very loud. She's not a baby. I'm not ignoring my baby in the background. She's just a loud, loud cat, and is punishing us for being away. But anyways, I think things look really good. I thought I was gonna have to blot. I think I could blot, but I don't really need to. It may have gotten like slightly deeper on my skin, which is kind of good right now, and I didn't notice that it went super deep or anything when I was wearing it when it was a better color match as well, so still feels really, really comfortable. Primed side looks about the same as the unprimed side, so very, very happy with it. I think the mascara still looks great too. I have eaten and stuff, so the lipstick has come off as to be expected, and I think the concealer looks really good too. So far looking so good. I mean, I've tested this out a bunch. I kind of know how this is gonna go, but I will check back with you at the end of the day. Checking in with you one final time here at the end of the evening. I've got my Body Shop ears on as always. I wear these like almost every single day, whether I'm doing a face mask or not. But anyways, as you can see, I think things look really, really good. I think maybe it might have deepened up a little bit, but it didn't go orange at all. And I find a lot of the time my face just looks darker at the end when I come to film a foundation review, like check-in at the end of the day. But I think things look great. There's a little bit of shininess, but nothing has slipped around, and I've spent a lot of time like doing this and this today, editing and whatnot, and I don't feel like anything moved around or came off. Like I did get, I think, a little bit of transfer, but it doesn't look like it came off, and it still feels very secure on my face. I just kind of want to end my day and wash my face. It doesn't feel uncomfortable. I don't feel like I particularly need to blot. There's a little bit of shininess around here in my T-zone, but overall things look really great. This was the primed side. There's maybe a little less sheen on the, oh, bless you. There's a little less sheen on this part of my face. Not a huge difference. I don't feel like you'll 100% need to prime. It kind of depends on your needs or the look you're going for or how long you plan on wearing it. Happy with the shade match as well. I was a little unsure how it was going to work with my tan, but like I said, that is the best shade match for me because I have been testing this out before I went on vacation. So overall, I think this gives really beautiful coverage. It has great lasting power. I do think it is buildable. I don't necessarily agree with the 24-hour claim, but I think potentially if you really wanted to wear it for 24 hours, perhaps you could. I don't necessarily recommend that, but it does feel comfortable, and it is the kind of thing that I will reach for on days when I do want my makeup to last. I feel like it has a good natural medium buildable coverage, and like I said in the beginning as well, if you do want to build it up to full, use a more dense brush, and if you have a more dry skin type, I think there's potential for you to like this. You probably wouldn't want to set it, but as always, let me know your skin type down below, and if you have tried this foundation, what your experience was, because of course I'm only one opinion. And in that same vein, be sure to check out Cheryl's review down below to see how she enjoys it on her skin. And then as well for the mascara, I thought that this looks really, really, really good. There's no flaking, there's no transfer, but I have mentioned this before, but I don't really have any issues with mascaras in general flaking on my eyes, and I think the concealer looks really good too. It all plays really, really nicely together. So overall, super impressed, really, really happy with everything that I tried today, and I appreciate appreciate so many of you reaching out to me to find out if I'm going to be reviewing this foundation because you trust my reviews so much, and that means a lot to me. So absolutely give this a big thumbs up. So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to let me know down below what foundation you would like to see me review next, and of course go check out Cheryl's channel. She is absolutely fabulous. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!